Okay, this is a little bit more detail about the reactions of photosynthesis and how they take place in the chloroplast. So I'm going to go through these, and if this is too much for you, focus on the basic parts of the reaction and you'll be good to go. If this works for you to take it a little bit deeper, that's great. You may not need to know it at this level, but I wanted to include it so that you'd have it and feel confident if you needed this information. So there's two parts, one that involves the sun and one that doesn't. So the one that involves the sun we sometimes call light dependent. And that's over here. And then the other part is called light independent. Light independent. I'll just abbreviate. Okay, so the sun's going to come in. I'm going to put the sun in over here. So here's the sun. And so photons of light are going to come in here at the thylakoid membranes. Remember these little stacks of pancakes? And that's where the chlorophyll molecules are sitting. And so the sunlight reacts with the chlorophyll molecules. And the other thing that is coming in here is water. Okay, so water is going to also be reacting here. So we're going to use the water at this point also. So when photons of light come in and water comes in, it's going to react with the chlorophyll. And imagine how powerful this reaction is, that the water actually splits. And when that split occurs, okay, then oxygen gas is given off. So that's where we get our oxygen gas part. So right here in the first part of the reaction, sunlight comes in, reacts with the chlorophyll in the thylakoid with the water, and oxygen is given off. So we're getting the oxygen that we need to breathe from the water that plants use. I think that's kind of cool. So then over here, you remember that another part of the reactants is CO2. So CO2 is coming in. What color should I make that? Make that some kind of purpley color. There we go. Okay, so CO2 is coming in from the atmosphere. All right, and that part is being used in like the cytoplasm of the chloroplast, and it's going to be what we call fixated. It's going to be used. So from a gas, it's going to be fixated and used in the Calvin cycle, and then turned into what the plant needs and what we need to survive, which is going to be, pick a color, any color. We'll pick yellow. No, we have yellow somewhere else. How about some kind of pink sort of ish color over here? Okay, that's good. All right, so we're going to make our glucose. So that is our other significant product. And I'm going to draw the little hexagon for it, and it's C6H12O6. So our reactants in the equation are water plus carbon dioxide give us oxygen and glucose. And so we're using the water in the first part because it reacts with the sunlight, and water is split and oxygen is given off. And then the hydrogen gets used over here in the Calvin cycle as well. It's a long story that you don't actually have to know at this point. And then the carbon becomes fixated in the Calvin cycle, and then we end up with glucose. Okay, so our two products are oxygen gas that are given off and glucose that the plant uses and that we use.